Welcome to the channel, DJOMEGAMVP. Today we're going to see the Stephen Colbert show where they have Talarico, a representative from Texas, and leading candidate for the Democratic Party as president. This guy has the most aura right now to become a president of the United States, James Talarico. This interview comes about because CBS got a letter from the FCC and Brendan Carr, aka Project 2025 writer. If you bring this guy on your show, we're gonna sue you and we're gonna take you off the air. That's the same thing happens with The View. The View had him on like a couple of weeks back, and the FCC already put an investigation against The View and ABC. So the from the top of the government is controlling what people can see, hear, and look. Everything. They control the whole media outlet. They control everything. So so the Stephen Colbert show put this interview on YouTube so people can watch. Like censorship, the First Amendment is being violated by Trump, the FCC, and the entire government. This is people are like blind to the situation that this administration doesn't want you to have your First Amendment right. And soon enough, is little by little they are taking it, little by little. And then you're gonna wake up one day and you're not gonna have your First Amendment right to say whatever you want. And then you're gonna be crying about it because you don't have your freedom of speech. And you can say you have your freedom of speech, but you won't have it. And this administration is doing everything to take that away. So with that introduction, let's see this interview, James Talarico on the Stephen Colbert show. Don't forget, subscribe to my channel, hit the notifications, leave a comment, and share this page with your friends. Leave a like also.
Welcome back, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me now is a representative in the Texas State House who is currently running for the United States Senate. Please welcome to the Late Show YouTube page, Representative James Talarico. Now, here's the thing. I don't usually say this to a guest, but if people are watching this right now, it's because they found us online on YouTube. I did an act of the show that's on tonight explaining why. It's not the first time you've caused some drama. FCC opening probe into The View after appearance by Talarico. Do you mean to cause trouble?
I think that Donald Trump is worried that we're about to flip Texas. And Stephen, this is the party that ran against cancel culture, and now they're trying to control what we watch, what we say, what we read, and this is the most dangerous kind of cancel culture, the kind that comes from the top.
If you believe that MAGA and Trump will win in November in the midterms, listen, wake up. Wake the fuck up. The MAGA party will lose more than 30 seats come November. And this is why Donald Trump and MAGA is afraid. They don't want to admit the reality that whatever Trump did in 2025 was the most horrendous thing he has done to this country. From tariffs, from bombing countries, from threatening people, for killing people, for putting people, innocent people in jail, for going politicizing the DOJ, going for his political opponents, um, the tariffs. Like 2025 was an eye awakening for every single American that whatever Trump promised you in 2024 is wrong, and he's afraid of that. And the Epstein files on top of it is just like nuclear. Like he said, the N word, you know, you don't want to say it. You don't want to say the N word. Is nuclear. Yeah, the Epstein file was the nuclear situation that is going on right now in MAGA world, and he's gonna keep breaking promises, and doing crazy shit, all because he's afraid of November. Texas is already flipping to Democrat. A county where Trump won by like 3.17 points, a Democrat won that seat by like 30 or 20 points. The pendulum is moving Democrat, and he's afraid of that. He's moving Democrat, and you need to wake up to that situation because it's coming. That blue wave is coming. Texas might flip blue, and that's why they try to gerrymander the whole state, and that shit, didn't go well for them because California got a better gerrymandering and got like five seats in California. And even then, Texas is still losing elections. 2025, MAGA lost special elections left and right. And MAGA didn't see that. They're like, oh, it's stupid elections. It's stupid. Nobody cares about those elections. That was the writing on the wall. And now is a reality. 2026 will be the end of Donald Trump and MAGA come 2027.
They went after The View because I went on there. They went after Jimmy Kimmel for telling a joke they didn't like. They went after you for telling the truth about Paramount's bribe to Donald Trump. Corporate media executives are selling out the First Amendment to curry favor with corrupt politicians. And a threat to any of our First Amendment rights is a threat to all of our First Amendment rights.
And that's true. CVS got bought by a billionaire MAGA cultist. CVS News is run by a moron, Barry Weiss. And Barry Weiss turned CVS News into propaganda MAGA news now. And that is the situation that is going on with this channel right now, CVS. They sold out to Trump. They sold out your First Amendment. They sold out to the country. That channel is really a propaganda machine for Trump and the administration. Because not allowing your First Amendment right to be exercised in this situation is just a violation of your constitutional rights. And like I said, it's coming. It's little by little. It's him, then it's you, then it's this guy, and then it's that guy, and then it's the MAGA guy. And when a MAGA guy gets censored and their First Amendment right gets taken away, trust me, I bet you, whatever you want, that MAGA won't like that. They're gonna be suing everybody because your First Amendment right, but they allow they allowed it right now to happen because they don't want you to see and hear the reality of Trump and his administration of how awful they doing. And James Talarico is a prime example of a great leader telling you the truth.
So I'm just,
To fact
I'm really
check you,
thankful.
to fact check you, my network said our cancellation was a purely financial decision.
Got it, got it,
And I
yes.
remain very grateful for the last 11 years. Now, you grew up in Texas.
I
Here
did.
you are.
I did.
There you are. You can prove it.
Forgot my
They
boots
give
on.
you they give you the adult boots as a child, and you're
That's
supposed
right.
to just grow into them.
That's
I
right.
understand.
That's right.
You served in the Texas House, and now you're running for Senate. The race, frankly, should not be as interesting as it is. Donald Trump won Texas by 14%. Why do you think this year Texas is considered a possibility by Democrats?
Well, I'm an 8th-generation Texan. My family has been in our state since it was Mexico. And across,
Ooh.
So you're going to
Wow.
get deported, is what you're saying.
across the state, there is a backlash growing
You're on fire.
to the extremism and the corruption in our politics. And I have traveled every corner of Texas already, from El Paso to Beaumont, from Amarillo to Brownsville. And we've had thousands of Texans showing up to rally with us. And I can't tell you the number of people who come up to me at the end of these events and whisper, "I'm not a Democrat," like it's some kind of secret. And we've recruited 14,000 volunteers who are out there doing the work all over our state.
It's happening, people. People are waking up. Talarico, the first time I heard this guy speak, I really knew that this guy is like not perfect, but had morals, have empathy. He's a human being. He has a heart. He's a Christian, a real Christian. And like I've been a fan since then. Like I've been a true fan of James Talarico. And man, he's going for the Senate against probably Ted Cruz. I don't know, but he has a great shot of winning that Senate seat, and I hope he does because that dude is great.
This is one of the most exciting parts. We have shattered grassroots fundraising records, all without taking a dime from corporate PACs. And so this is really
That's good.
it's a people-powered movement to take back our
AIPAC,
state
go to
and
hell.
take back our country. And I feel like we're building something really special in Texas, and clearly Donald Trump has taken note.
Yep.
Now,
He's scary
one
as
of the
shit, bro.
things-
He's scary as
One of the
shit.
things that's come up in some of the conversations you've had on the Texas State House floor, which some of the videos I've seen you do, and one of the things that's gotten you attention out there is that you are a Presbyterian seminarian. Presently?
Yes.
You're a seminarian?
Yes.
Okay. The right attempts to co-opt Christianity, to say that you can't believe in God, you can't believe in Christ. I think that Donald Trump might have said something like that at the National Prayer Breakfast, like you can't actually be a Christian and be a Democrat. But the religious right is largely a political movement that references spirituality, but it's a political. What is your heartfelt hand out to the people who want to use religion as a tool of political power?
Well, for 50 years, the religious right, a political movement, that is the perfect description for it, they convinced a lot of our fellow Christians that the most important issues were abortion and gay marriage. Two issues that aren't mentioned in the Bible, two issues that Jesus never talked about. Jesus in Matthew 25 tells us exactly how you and I and every one of our fellow believers, how we're going to be judged and how we're going to be saved. By feeding the hungry, by healing the sick, by welcoming the stranger. Nothing about going to church, nothing about voting Republican. It was all about how you treat other people. Don't
Those are like, have empathy, have compassion, welcome people, are like simple, nice things, simple, nice human things that you need to have in you. But Trump is the whole opposite. Stephen Miller is a whole opposite of those three things. They don't have compassion, they don't have empathy, and they don't like to welcome people. And that is wrong. This nation was built with people from other countries, other cultures, everything. And this administration doesn't like that shit.
I've said before, don't tell me what you believe. Show me how you treat other people, and I'll tell you what you believe. And
True.
And I think
Show me who you are, man. Trump has shown who he is. I knew Trump in 2016 that dude wasn't the guy. I knew that man was gonna hurt this country. I knew that Trump was only coming in for himself. Like, I knew that shit from 2016. He has shown that he doesn't give two fucks about you. He has shown that he doesn't give a fuck about nobody else in this fucking world, only him. Only Trump matters. Only him. And MAGA is just the cult that loves to follow a fake prophet, a fake leader that is just hurting them and hurting them.
in our faith, we've got to get back to those fundamentals. My granddad was a Baptist preacher in South Texas. And when I was little, he told me that Christianity is a simple religion. Not an easy religion, he would always clarify, but a simple religion because Jesus gave us two commandments: love God and love neighbor. And there was no exception to that second commandment. Love thy neighbor regardless of race or gender or sexual orientation or immigration status or religious affiliation. And it's why I have fought so hard for the separation of church and state in the state capitol in Texas, because...
Well, I want to ask you about that.
Yeah, please.
Because you did, as a state rep, you fought against the a bill requiring the Ten Commandments to be displayed in schools.
That's right.
Why, even on that level, do you think it's important to keep the separation, not just for the state, but for the church?
Well, because we are called to love all of our neighbors, including our Muslim, Jewish,
Anybody.
Buddhist, Hindu, Sikh, agnostic, atheist neighbors, and forcing our religion down their throats is not love. And it's why...
Yeah, I don't like that shit. Don't force your fake Christianity. I know what a real Christian looks like. I know what a real religious person looks like. White Christian nationalists are not real Christians. They are a political party who is in bed with Trump. They are the fake Christians. Those people don't worship real God. I really, really think that these people don't worship the God that I grew up with. I'm sorry. It's not that they don't believe in that God. They just believe in Trump. Trump is their God. Trump is their savior.
I have fought. It's why I fought so hard for that sacred separation in our First Amendment, because my granddad, he raised me to believe that that boundary between church and state doesn't just benefit the state or our democracy, although it certainly does, but it also benefits the church. Because when the church gets too cozy with political power, it loses its prophetic voice, its ability to speak truth to power, its ability to imagine a completely different world. And so this separation between church and state is something we have to safeguard. It's something we have to fight for. And I think we need someone in the U.S. Senate who is going to confront Christian nationalism and say and tell the truth, which is that there is nothing Christian about Christian nationalism. It is the...
There's nothing Christian about white Christian nationalists. Oh my God. Yo, that shit hits. That comment hit because it's true. White Christian nationalists, like I said before, they are not real Christians. They are the worst part of being a Christian. They don't care about their neighbor. They don't care about the sick. They don't care about the hungry. They don't care about anybody. They don't worship God. They don't worship Jesus Christ. They just worship Trump. They are racist people. They don't care about your brown, Muslim. They don't care Jews. They don't care about those people. They as white Christians, nationalists, Americans who worship the worst of the worst of the worst the world can provide. Just for power. Jesus Christ, that comment really hit, man, because it's the truth.
It is the worship. It is the worship of power in the name of Christ. And it is a betrayal of Jesus of Nazareth. And I just want to thank you, Stephen, because I know you're not a politician, but you have really shown people in this country what Christianity should be.
Exactly.
And what it means to actually live out the teachings of Jesus, even in a talk show.
Well,
like, I'm starting to go to church, to Christian church. And let me tell you, it's just different from whatever this white nationalist Christian are. Is just different. You can disagree with politics, whatever, but being a real Christian for the real Jesus, for real God, is just okay. That unites us. But I can't deal with these white national Christians. I can't deal with those. Like, I can't, because you are racist. You worship a false god, bro. So, like, I don't care. Like, you are not a Christian. You don't worship God. Even though in this church that I go to, I bet there are MAGA people and real Democrats, but I feel that they are real the Christians of Jesus Christ and God. And I'm fine with that.
I'm going to push back a little bit on that. That's very nice of you to say. I would never lay that compliment to myself, because I think I fall far short of what my standards would be. But I will agree with you on this. I think that it is bad for certainly my church or any religious organization to associate themselves from a political party. Right. How must it diminish God to be associated with something so small as a present political party?
That's right.
Because imagine this. Imagine that you managed to co-opt Christianity. Imagine if you managed to convince everybody that Jesus was on your side. If you then lose the election, sounds like you've got a pretty weak Jesus.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's the key, is you don't want to fit the big thing into the small thing. Mm-hmm. And God is the biggest thing there is. And so to try to fit God into a political party, whether it's the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, you've got it reversed. Mm-hmm. And so it's why I think we have to remember to put those big things first, to put the love of God and the love for our neighbors before anything else. Because right now, what you've got is people baptizing their partisanship and calling that Christianity, when in reality, your politics should grow out of your faith, not the other way around.
Now,
politics and religion don't mix in any situation. You need to keep religion out of politics. Period.
there's been some attention on your race in recent weeks after a TikToker that you met in person says that you privately said to them, and I want to get this quote, and they attribute to you, right? This person says, you said, I signed up originally to run against a mediocre black man, not a formidable and intelligent black woman. Supposedly in reference to Colin Allred being the black man, and you've denied this.
Yes.
Okay. You denied that you ever said that.
That's correct.
Okay. Allred continues to talk about it, even though he's no longer running for the Senate, correct?
Right.
So where does that stand? How do you, as someone who this person says this about you, you say it didn't happen, how do you imagine this gets adjudicated, and what would you like to say to people?
Yeah, I mean, we know that misinformation spreads on the internet, and it's sometimes like a game of telephone. As I said in my statement, I did critique Colin Allred's campaigning as mediocre, but I would never attack him on the basis of race. I respect Colin Allred deeply, even though we have disagreements on the best way to campaign and the best way to win Texas. My job in this moment is to try to lower the temperature, is to try to remind us that we are all on the same team, trying to change the politics of our state and change the politics of our country, because we are seeing the consequences of losing elections as we speak. And we have a moral imperative to win in November in Texas and to win across this country, because that's how we're going to get things back on track. And so I know things get tense in a primary. I know stuff flies around on the internet. I understand that. But I'm trying to get us all to keep our eyes on the prize, which is remembering we're on the same team and getting out there, doing the organizing work so that we can win in November.
Have you spoken to Colin Allred?
I have. I called him after all this stuff came out and everything started to blow up, just to reiterate what I said in my statement, that I do respect him.
And how did that conversation go?
I don't want to reveal anything in a private conversation, but I hope that he and I walked away with a better understanding of each other.
Now, you're serving in Texas House of Representatives. You've had your fair share of strange days.
But it's like, okay, he might accept that he denies it, and people like will take that as, oh, he's lying. But here we have Trump posting a video of the Obamas in a monkey suit, and Mag is like, well, you're so sensitive, you don't have humor. That wasn't racist. Let it go. No, bitch, that shit was racist. Trump posted it and then lied about it 5 times until he admitted that he posted it. Like, he posted it because he knew the reaction it would take. He posted that video because he knew that people will react at him like a racist. And Trump is a freaking racist. Because it wasn't about Georgia elections. It wasn't about the rigged elections, and he was showing people that the Georgia election was rigged. No. He knew at the end that shit was coming. Before you post a freaking video, you have the option to edit, to trim the freaking video. You just go to edit, push back a little bit, take that part out, and post your Georgia election rigged, if that's what you wanted to imply, right? If that was the message for your video. No. But you left that little 3 seconds there, yes, to make a chaos. Trump knew what he was doing. He knew this was the reaction. But my guy's like, no, you're too sensitive, blah, 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 fuck you. Have some humor. Is the hypocrisy, man. Hypocrites.
I understand you had to weigh in on legislation about, and I hope I'm reading this correctly, furries.
I did.
Now, I know what furries are, and is that the same furries that I do not use my work computer to search for?
That's right. Yeah, when I ran for public office, I never thought I'd be talking about furries in this job. But my Republican colleagues in the state legislature, they were promoting an internet hoax that Texas public school students were identifying as cats.
Yes.
And
I heard this story.
Yes,
I read the story.
And that the
I remember that
schools
story.
were providing litter boxes to those students. I know.
My understanding is
That was in
it's not just Texas,
2024.
everywhere in the United States.
It's an
2023,
epidemic.
2024.
Biden signed a law that that had to happen.
Yes,
in all-
forcing litter boxes in every
all the
classroom.
classroom,
Yeah.
yes.
Anyway, they decided to write a bill to combat this completely made-up problem, and it fell to me as a member of the Public Education Committee to question the author of that bill. And so I just asked him a pretty simple question. Has there been a single documented case of a school providing a litter box to students? And he couldn't name one. And this video went everywhere. You can look it up online.
So the law was working.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's exactly right. He actually kind of said something similar to that.
Yeah.
His response was that this law is to prevent that from ever happening.
Oh, I understand.
Which I guess
Sure.
that's true. But anyway, there is a point to this craziness. They want us talking about
Anything.
furries and bathrooms, so we don't realize that they are picking our pockets,
Yep.
that they are closing our schools, they are gutting our health care, and they are raising taxes on all of us while they cut taxes for their billionaire donors. The
That's
culture
it.
wars
That's the message.
are a smokescreen, because the real fight in this country is not left versus right, it's top versus bottom.
That's it. That's the message. Trump wants you to talk about racist stuff. He wants you to talk about Greenland. He wants you to talk about the Epstein ballroom. He wants you to talk about Noam. He wants you to talk about everything that is just anything that he wants you to think about. Flooding the zone with bullshit. He wants you to think about that. Why? Because like he said, he's taxing the shit out of us with those fucking tariffs. And also giving big tax breaks to the freaking billionaires of the United States. The top 1% of the United States are taking fucking tax cuts. And the middle working America and lower America is getting fucked by this administration. It's not us, people. It's not us. We need to unite against the billionaire class, the Epstein class that is ruining this country.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for being the first guest to ever appear only on YouTube.
I'm honored. I'm honored. Thank you.
Representative James Talarico, everybody.
Listen, this guy, Talarico, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of him. I wish he wins the Senate race, and I hope he really have a run for president of the United States soon. Because man, that's a leader that you want. That's the kind of leader that you want running this country. A real Christian, a real human being, and a real American from Texas. James Talarico is a star. The future looks bright. Democrats needs to get behind this guy ASAP. So with that, we leave this video right there. Don't forget to follow me, hit notifications, leave a like, leave a comment, and I welcome you to my next video soon. Peace.